Welcome back to Game Devs Play Games, where you can watch games practice game design, and we are back with Kingdom Hearts. Gosh! We tweeted out a screenshot of this, and if you go back to that, Chris Wade was kind enough to point out the texture bleed
Yeah, he
and
was.
the tooth, which I think is hilarious because. So shout out to Chris Wade.
Yeah, Chris Wade.
Go check out Sausage Sports Club if you haven't
such
yet.
a good game.
But this is funny to me because it's like this is a game that wasn't built with first person in mind.
No, so when they did this.
And so it's funny to me when like you see little things like it's texture bleeding because the UV map was just not that precise at this point because they were like, no one's gonna notice. It doesn't matter. And it's funny to see first person getting implemented in games like this because then you start to see little things like that they never planned for players to be able to see.
Yeah, right.
But it happens so often in a lot of older games that they add first person like just at the end because it's easy to do it.
Yeah, right. Just like,
It's
all right.
just a camera inside your character's head. That's all it is. And like, you know, it's fun.
Oh yeah, no.
But
It's
you start to see a lot of visual
most
things break down at that level.
definitely fun. Let us not forget how much fun that is.
Mini question of the day: what are some other games that you've seen like first person
Oh, just that
cameras
texture
getting
bleed.
haphazardly
Oh yes, bad.
like games that intentionally do it were like Fez that made it part of an interesting challenge.
Yes.
And I really liked things like that in Fez. But I don't know, this era of games like early PlayStation, like PS1, PS2, when 3D games were a new thing,
Yeah, right.
they were just like, well, we'll throw out a first-person camera because we can. Even Zelda did that.
Yeah, well, did you see recently? It was the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. Now, by the time this is released, that would probably be almost a month ago. And like I was reading the comments, and they're just like best game for what it was at its time, and so like people really hold on to that like nostalgia fact because to be totally honest, like yes, I like 7. It's like really anyone that plays Final Fantasy, if you don't like 7, it's like did you really play much of it? But I don't think it's their best by any means.
No, and I think we're at a point where a lot of people are starting to really like realize, and maybe not realize, but like be more honest about things like
Yes.
FF7. And there are still diehard fans, and there's nothing wrong with being a diehard fan. And if that's your favorite, that's totally okay. Like, I don't want to.
It's a good game. Like, end of the day, it's still a good game.
I just think it's refreshing to hear so many other people come out and be like, well, my favorite Final Fantasy was FF6 or FF9.
And like 6 is one of those ones where, and that's what I saw in the comment section too, is like 7's cool and all, but 6 is where it's at. Like, I saw a lot of comments like that. So I think one of the underdogs, one of the more cult favorites, ends up being 6, it sounds like. And I mean, you know, if you talk to Nathan at any point about it, I'm sure he'll give you 8,000 reasons why it's the best one.
Honestly, it'll probably be my favorite when I actually beat it.
I know, I still have to beat it too. It's a fun game so far. I've been enjoying it because I bought it because Nathan was talking so highly of it.
It starts pretty sluggish,
It
though.
does. It really does. And like, you're really not sure what you're doing. And all of a sudden, it's like, which pathway do you want to go? Although, I do think that's pretty cool with the game.
Yeah, I mean, those games at that time, too, generally moved pretty slow. And that was, like,
Exactly.
indicative of a JRPG, or even just RPGs in general.
Mhm.
And that, like, if you enter a game with that mentality, then I think it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
If you play it back to back with something like this, then yeah, it definitely will feel a little slow.
And you know, it's kind of with everything, right? It's kind of with movies and with television and with theater now. You're seeing people want action to happen all the time. It's like it's got like they're almost willing to sacrifice story for action. I feel.
I
game,
agree.
Like I said, I'm not trying to make a general statement here. I'm just saying I think in general you're seeing games kind of going down that route.
I mean, even like in film, this has been. I think we're slowly stepping back away from that. I think that's a very common trend that we're starting to separate ourselves from. But like the newer Star Trek movies are indicative of that. You go back and watch it, and it's just like action, 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 action.
Well, like
and
superhero movies too. You know? And I love my superhero movies, but it is action, 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 action. But on the flip side, you're also starting to see people who want like, I want a 3-hour superhero movie though, so I can get all my connections in there too. So you're starting to see a shift. Where a while there, it was very much like it's gotta be fast paced and something's always gotta be happening, or you're gonna lose your audience.
Yeah.
And I think video games are doing a good job of like of intertwining that fast pace with good narrative for the most part. Obviously, not every game's like that. And when you can really combine those two, you can make a game that's like 30 or 40 hours, which is kind of on the longer end now when you think about most games, right? If it's not like Witcher or Dragon Age,
right?
You're going to be a game within 10 to 20 hours almost. Maybe some 30-hour games. But they make it so fast it doesn't feel like it. All of a sudden, you're like, wow, I've been playing for 7 hours and I'm only at the beginning of the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting how it kind of comes in and out of trend, too.
Yeah, right, exactly. You know, I was wondering what will the next trend bring, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for a while it seemed like Minecraft was starting a new trend of, like, exploration and sandbox games.
Right, but then that kind of fizzled.
It did sort of fizzle, but I think that what it really is going to require is for the generation of new gamers that grew up, that like started growing up playing games like Minecraft. I think when they are out and developing games, that's really where that's going to
you're gonna see like the exploration renaissance happen or something, or the
I think more like the sandbox renaissance. Yeah.
Well, because you're seeing it back with like Grand Theft Auto, right? Like Grand Theft Auto was huge on their sandbox front, and all my party members are dead.
I mean, that's nothing new. Grand Theft Auto isn't so much. I mean, it's sort of sandbox, but it's not like that creative sandbox like Minecraft.
No, it's not creative. No, by any means, it's not like.
It's just free roaming, which I guess also is a way to describe sandbox. But I think sandbox is sort of changing in its terminology.
I think Minecraft did that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's not something I've thought about in a little while. Because you're right, like sandbox generally used to describe just an open world game.
Yeah, just open world games to be sandbox gaming.
But now we kind of just call those games open world.
Yep, and I think it depends on the game too, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, like, it makes sense. Sandbox, the whole... Ooh, wow, you actually died.
I didn't heal fast, no.
Dang.
I wasn't paying attention. That's the thing, like, I don't have, what's it called yet? I don't have, I was
Kira?
No, I don't have the name. I can't remember the name of the,
Can we scoot your mic closer to you?
I don't have the name of the ability on the tip of my tongue yet, but it's the one where you can cast Cure, and if you get attacked by an enemy, it still doesn't stop Cure from happening.
Oh.
So I don't have that skill.
What are we doing right now? Like, what's our objective?
I'm going to go to the Gizmo Tower. I can probably just skip all this, but...
Is that where we're gonna go ring the bell 3 times?
Yep. Let's go ring the bell.
Is that a side quest kind of thing, or is that...
No, that is
really?
the main story.
So that makes sense why Sid made it really obvious what we needed to do.
Yes.
Because if he was just like, I don't know, go ring a bell somewhere, I guess.
3 times, though.
But, like, if he didn't even say 3 times, we might just go around, ring a bell, and be like, nothing happened.
Nothing happened. This is stupid.
But I think making it more obvious... I mean, it seems kind of arbitrary that we'd have to ring it 3 times anyway.
Right.
But if they didn't call that out, then imagine how frustrating of an experience that could lead to.
Oh, that's what I was going to talk about last episode. So I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition, right? I haven't touched the game in forever. Actually, it was funny when I was doing my new save file, because I just restarted my game. I saw that the last time I played was a year ago. So it's not about September in Dragon Age for me. I don't know what it is, but this time I'm going to beat it. There's one of the missions where... in the note it says, oh, you have to run around this pole 3 times, going with your right hand touching the pole. And you actually have to do that in order, well, not really having it touching, but like, you actually have to physically do that in order for that mission to finish. And I was like, oh, kind of good on you. You know, you're making the player, you know, because some they just make you do like an action scene real quick. You'll hit X, they'll show you doing it, and then the monster will appear or whatever. The whole idea was like these kids were trying to raise their grandfather from the dead. And so the second you do it, of course, you end up fighting like a dead guy because, you know, it's Dragon Age.
Makes sense.
And I love the blood aspect of that game.
Was that fight a plot fight, or was it a side quest? So I think that's where it's successful then, right?
Yep.
Because they tell you the rules, and then as you're doing it, you're like, I don't know if this is right or if this is going to lead to anything, and you don't have to do it. So you may try it and like not really abide by the rules and be like, nothing happened, oh wow.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to do for now.
But it rewards the player for paying attention and actually playing by the rules.
Well, and this makes for a good side quest, and that's why, like, when we're talking about games like Final Fantasy 15, where it's like they sacrificed quantity for quality.
Yeah.
This is where like games like Dragon Age and Witcher does it right, because even though all their missions may not always be the most interesting for their side quests, they give you like you feel there's some purpose for you to do them.
Right.
It's almost like
Man, those guys.
These guys suck. I hate the big daddies, man.
Do you just like have to hit them from behind?
Yeah, basically.
Is there like a rolling maneuver?
Oh yeah, I roll.
But like, can you target them and just kind of like Zelda style roll to the side until you're behind them?
Kind of.
Not in any kind of like easy way to utilize.
No, like I can like target them and then just roll around them, but it's not like one of these does something for me. I should probably get up on one of these guys. Or not.
Those look like levers.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just come back and do it later.
Oh?
It's just it's just like a couple of treasure chests.
Whoa. For a second, I thought the world didn't load. I was like, why are we floating in a blue sky box?
What's happening? What's happening? Let me make sure that I have no. That's good. That's good.
Waste more items with Goofy and Donald.
Yep, as you do. Oh, no. I'll change that. You don't get that. I'll take that. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you taking their items?
No. I'm just taking it from the main stock to then.
Oh, I see. And distribute.
Yes, sirree, Bob.
Okay, so we're still climbing to get to the bell.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
I'm thinking about the doorbell. When you gonna ring it? When you gonna ring it? I'm thinking about the doorbell. When you gonna? So, like, I didn't really listen to because White Stripes. Cause that's not Jack White by himself. I think that's just all White Stripes.
Yeah, I think so.
And like, so here's the thing. Like, my fiance, coolest person ever in the entire world.
Shout out to Angie.
Shout out to
Who doesn't
Angie.
watch the show?
She does actually.
Does she?
Well, she watches a lot of our you like. She probably watches more than I do. Because I don't like watching myself.
Hey man.
I don't like. I'll watch stuff that like you and Nathan will do or you and Eddie will do. I don't really watch our playthroughs.
I mean, that's fair. I have no choice but to watch myself.
I mean, you're kind of stuck watching yourself at all times.
Well, that's why when we did like the Bastard Saga,
that must have been nice.
I had a lot of fun because I could be like,
I would
this is all new
love
stuff
to
for me.
re-team with Nathan on a game. If we could just have matching up schedules once, I would love to play a game with him.
I'd be into that.
Or Eddie even. I know Eddie and I don't really chill much, but
you and Eddie would be easier to schedule together because
Right, 'cause
Eddie's
we
not a
have
bartender.
yeah, no, Eddie's not a bartender. Shout out to bartenders though. Cool.
Nathan does some really cool stuff.
Dude, I mean, Nathan's good at what he does.
Yeah, if you...
Like,
this is not, like, an ad or a sponsorship or anything, but if you live in the, like, Lyle area?
I mean, DuPage County in general.
in Illinois, go check out, what is it, the Next Whiskey Bar?
over in Lyle.
It's a really cool place, and if
Real
Nathan's
cool bar.
working there, like...
He makes some baller drinks, man.
He makes some
good.
awesome stuff.
So
and he's flashy about it too. That's where it's fun.
He's very flashy.
He's like a guy that knows he's attractive and like knows how to flaunt it.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
I
like-
know I'm great. He knows he's a good bartender, so he like makes a show of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's good. It's good. Although, make sure he doesn't slice his finger off.
You did do that the first time you visited him.
Yep. And then the second time I visited him, he was fine, so I can keep going back.
Oh man.
All right, we've rung the bell 3 times.
Now we get butterflies.
Okay, what did you just say?
Butterflies.
Oh,
butt flies.
I thought you said butt effing, and I'm like,
Butt effing.
just butt.
Buffins, man.
Buffins.
So you brought up Angie for a reason.
Oh yes, I did. Oh right, so she's super awesome, right? Because she got me into like I was already into like rock and stuff. But I didn't listen to the White Stripes.
What?
I don't know why I didn't, right?
What?
Like there was no rhyme or reason to it. But she was a big Led Zeppelin person where I was more of like a big, I know she's the coolest.
Angie's
right?
cooler than
I know.
you.
She's way cooler than I am. Where I was more of like a Who guy. So mean, they're two different kinds of rock, and not that they don't cross over very much, because they do. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Who is great, but like,
I love the Who more than Led Zeppelin, but that's just me, you know. Hey, I still love Led Zeppelin. I'm not saying I don't. Led Zeppelin's got some amazing songs out there. I just prefer the Who. It's more of a nostalgic thing for me. Wow.
get out.
Oh, it's not done yet. I was like, that was way too fast.
I was like, well, you beat him.
I beat that.
What?
Wow, you beat him.
Oh, you beat him.
You actually did something right. Oh, see, I start getting better late game. Let's see if this happens this time, though.
This is, we've talked about this too, but this is the build where it takes a while for you to, like, level up.
Good.
To get good. To do better, mo better. Oh, shit. He's
huge!
I mean, it's good that he has a transformation because we've already fought him once before.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was just the same fight,
He's jumping around everywhere this time. I'm like, part of me regrets picking this build, though. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I am not I'm gonna stand back and fight this guy from afar.
Yeah, you don't use your spells as much as you probably should. But to be fair, a lot of the bosses aren't really good. Like, it's hard to use the spells effectively.
Thunder's a good one. Thunder's a good one because it hits everywhere.
Yeah, it's AoE.
Yeah,
but
AOE,
like,
man, AoE is what life is about.
Fire and Blizzard are very directional, and it's very difficult to be precise.
Fire is good though. No, Blizzard is probably the worst spell in the arsenal because it just kind of shoots a generic, like, a generic spot. It's not like it's hitting anything specifically. But yeah, I just gotta get better at using my magic, and if I do that, I'm sure I'd be much better at this game.
Yeah, I wonder if the best strategy for the magic run is to basically always be recharging your magic, your MP, like at least have it knocked down a couple of notches so that when you are getting hits in, you're also recovering your MP.
Right, exactly. And I'm so much of a, and like, it's because I'm not as skilled of a gamer. I'll be totally honest. I mean, people watch me on the show. I am much more of a, I need to go in and hit because that's just how I play.
You're a button masher.
Yeah, well, a button masher, I mean,
for what it's worth, a lot of these games, especially back in this era, were designed to kind of be button mashers. And then obviously they had other surrounding mechanics to, like, make it more interesting.
Right.
Especially for users that wanted to.
I can dodge as well if I need
to. Yeah.
But like, I just like being up in the fight. I don't like being passive in fights. I guess that's really what it comes down to.
I agree.
And I feel like sometimes with magic users, you have to stay back from everything. And I'm just like, no, but I want to be involved. but I want to now.
But I want to. So, this boss battle, it has transformation, right? Does it feel...
Canon. It feels so much different.
And so let's talk about that, right? Imagine if you fought this boss and the transformation was just like a super version of the previous iteration.
Would have been lame.
It would have been lame. And so I think like the most direct comparison I could make is like something like Skyward Sword, which I've probably already whined about that game enough on this show.
Skyward Sword.
But the way they reuse bosses is very much like it's the same boss with a very slight modification. And so it gets to a point of redundancy where you're just like, I am tired of fighting this guy five times, and it's the same fight.
Been fun.
Yeah, oh, he's more powerful or he has more health.
No, what I like about matter. What I like about this is that they turn him and he starts with that body cannon thing, which all of a sudden, when you're first fighting him, he's straight up just getting into your grill.
Yeah.
So your strategy probably for that should be, I'm gonna back away from this, and then I'm gonna hit him from afar.
But it's a good.
And then once he flips to his cannon mode, now we get my favorite spell. My favorite spell.
You've been talking about this whole playthrough.
I love this spell so much because it's good for someone like me
who
runs into fights.
And it's because it's a spell, now you get to get the best of both worlds.
Exactly. And it counts as a second attack. And that's the best part about it.
Oh.
Because the wind it's like wind knives, basically, right?
Right.
You're surrounded in wind and you go, love it. Arrow is my favorite move in the whole game.
All right, I'm into that.
Yeah.
You locked it forever. Yep. What?
And I think we've talked about already. Traverse Town is the only place that still like the enemies increase in level throughout the game. Not like it doesn't increase when you increase, but their difficulty does transform as you get through certain worlds, where all the other worlds outside of Hollow Bastion remain that one level, like how you enter that world is how you do it.
That makes sense. Well,
That's it.
hold on. We're overtime on
We're
this
overtime.
episode.
Oh, absolutely. It's so easy to go overtime.
Yeah, it is.
Question of the day.
Question of the day. Well, how did they? How did they reuse an existing boss to benefit the game rather than just like reusing assets and like kind of being redundant? Either in what way did they change that boss to prevent that redundancy, or why is that important to prevent that redundancy, especially if you're going to reuse an existing boss?
Absolutely.
Because I don't think there's anything wrong with reusing content so long as you keep it interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't done that yet either, and comment on the question of the day, as well as your own thoughts on our playthrough, your own playthrough, your favorite Kingdom Hearts moments, as long as there's not major spoilers in them.
Hashtag no spoiler.
Hashtag no spoilers. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.